And then do we want to talk about stress and its impact on mitochondria? I mean, should we do that
Well,
or?
so let's talk a little bit about stress. Stress is not bad for us. Remember when we said that if you're on bed rest, that is incredibly destructive. So stress is not bad. Continuous stress is a problem. The absence of relaxation, the absence of a break from stress is the problem. So I need stress on my bones to keep my bones strong. So I do vertical jumps. I do strength training. I carry weights. I carry my dog. I practice leaping because my bones need that stress. However, if I did jumping all day long, it would be very stressful for my bones and my joints. So I need a break from stress. I need the stress of having to solve new problems, thinking, navigating to keep my mind sharp. I also need absence of that stressful environment, thinking, struggling, being very, very worrisome. So stress is not bad, but continuous stress is very destructive. Absence of stress is very destructive.
So just finding that happy medium, right? Just being choosy about what kind of stresses you let in to your environment.
People may know I have trigeminal neuralgia as part of my MS symptoms. So if I came to one of your homes and you accidentally served me gluten, dairy, or eggs, my trigeminal neuralgia would turn on in about 6 hours, and it would be brutally terrible for me. I also know that if stress can trigger this for me as well. And, there's a lot I want to do in life. I am working hard on my research projects. I'm trying to get some studies through the IRB. And I was working on it, and things were not going as smoothly as I thought they should. And it was annoying me. And I was letting that annoyance get to be at a higher level than I should have. And so my face pain turned on. It turned on in a very, it ramped from being a little uncomfortable to being just incapacitatingly uncomfortable. So I had to take some very high dose steroids to get it turned off. Jackie, my wife, sat me down and said, "Terry, gotta let this go." And I have to agree, this is a signal that I let my frustration with my institution, with the research process, become much too stressful. I think we all have to pay attention, because we know what is going to take us over the edge. And so I had to do a lot of prayer and meditation, like, you know what? This is all going to be fine. It will get approved or it will not. And if it doesn't, then I'll have to come up with a different study idea, and that'll be fine. That will happen to all of us. You will let yourself get all wound up. And it's the same event. But it's my interpretation of the event that makes it stressful or not. And with that, I'm going to tell you another deeply, deeply, deeply personal story. When I had my daughter, that pregnancy started out as twins. I went through IVF. I was thrilled to be pregnant with twins. I was going in for my ultrasound at about 16 weeks and learned that one of the twins had died, which was very, very sad, because I was very excited. I wanted to have both those twins. And of course, I was very tearful and sad about that. And then later in my pregnancy, at 30 weeks, I'm hospitalized with elevated blood pressure, and preeclampsia. And we have my daughter I'm induced, and she's born via C-section at 31 weeks as a placental abruption. It was quite dramatic. Fortunately, she's fine, and I survived. And what was remarkable, when I go back in to see my OB doc 6 weeks after delivery, my OB doc says, Terry, losing your twin certainly saved your daughter's life and probably saved your life. Because if you had had both babies, you would have gone into preeclampsia even earlier. You would have gone from preeclampsia, because I was very close to help. I mean, it was a very cataclysmic last 24 hours before my daughter was born. So it's quite possible that your daughter almost certainly would have died, and there's a real possibility that you would have died. So it's the same event, the loss of that twin. I was very, very sad. Now my daughter and I talk about that was the gift of life. It's the same event. Everything that happens to us, they're simply events. Whether it is a stressful event or a joyful event is the meaning we apply to it.
Absolutely. I mean, we can't always change the stressors, but we can change our perceptions for sure. Thank you for sharing that with us. So, look, we are all up against things that are, really difficult, but with support, with patience, with understanding, mindfulness, meditation, like we can find ways through almost always. So I appreciate you sharing that real life example.